Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Chris Thomas.
I'm Laura Painter. Our top story on this Friday is the massive wildfire burning out of control in Butte and Tehama counties.
Yeah, the Park Fire is now the largest fire burning here in California. We'll have a live report in just a moment. But first, we do want to give you more perspective on exactly where this fire is burning. Take a look. You see this big orange area. This is where it's growing.
And as you can see, it is burning east of Interstate 5 and northeast of the town of Chico. You can see the town of Paradise there, just southeast of the flames. Parts of that town are now under evacuation warnings.
Meanwhile, the fire exploded in size overnight. The latest update shows the fire has burned more than 178,000 acres, and there is zero containment. Multiple evacuation orders and warnings are now in place, and more than 100 structures have been destroyed. Now, yesterday we learned the fire was set on purpose. This suspect now behind bars. He's from Chico.
ABC 10's Devin Truby joins us live from the firefight right now. Devin, this is impacting so many people's lives. Tell us what you're seeing, what's going on right now.
Laura, we have another just dynamic view of the pyrocumulus cloud. I want you to go ahead and take a look at it. And I'd like to take a moment to speak about how dynamic this fire is. I was talking to CAL FIRE, and in the neighborhood of Cohasset, they did a 600-acre prescribed burn less than a year ago. The Park Fire went through the prescribed burn area. That means it had enough of its own energy and wind to make it through 600 acres with very little fuel, dry grass or anything to fuel it and push it forward, and made it to the other side of 600 acres within moments without an issue. Now that would be impressive if it wasn't so absolutely frightening.
I haven't looked out onto the horizon and seen a fire like this really since 2021, I guess, during the Dixie Fire.
Rick Carhart with CAL FIRE has been covering Butte County for years. He says the Park Fire is doing things that are unexpected, like doubling back to the neighborhood of Cohasset Thursday night. Here you see CAL FIRE setting up containment lines around this home Thursday. Friday morning, only a chimney remains. The drastic difference between a lush Limpach Road and now a charred one.
If a spark hits the ground, it's almost inevitable that it's going to start a fire.
CAL FIRE saying Cohasset is an example of why listening to evacuations and staying out is so important. Homes were evacuated Wednesday. CAL FIRE using Highway 32 as a stopgap for the Park Fire. They've been struggling with containment because they haven't been able to do this, which is get active inside the firefight and set up those perimeters, because the fire has been spreading and its flanks have been heading towards homes and neighborhoods. So they've been prioritizing trying to save those residences. The Park Fire, a statewide effort with crews as far as Riverside coming in, 1,600 personnel, a dynamic aerial attack with 6 helicopters. But Carhart says they have another job equally as important, being sensitive to a community still trying to heal 5.5 years later from the Camp Fire. A gut-wrenching moment for those same people evacuating again.
The people in Paradise, the people in Magalia, the people in Concow, those folks have been through it so many times. And so, yeah, it's a little bit jarring.
So you're taking a look at Highway 32, which is the stopgap for the Park Fire. You can see the drastic difference between charred on the left and then just the ample amount of dry grass on the right. CAL FIRE said it is the flanks of this fire that's spreading, and once it makes it into these canyons and the wind picks up, well, then they're chasing it. So again, the Park Fire looks like our hand. It started to spread out those flanks, making it difficult to chase up from Chico. Here we are, Highway 32, where they want to make the stop, because if it jumps and it continues to travel in that direction, well, over here, that's the town of Paradise. Reporting live on the Park Fire in Butte County, I'm Devin Truby, ABC 10, back to you.
A live look at the firefight and just the massive conditions that they're facing. We do thank you, Devin. And here's the deal. Parts of the town of Paradise are facing evacuation warnings, and it brings back scary memories of the Camp Fire. Today, the Butte County Sheriff warned people to please follow evacuation orders.
We need you to first evacuate utilizing one of the 3 main roads out of Paradise, Skyway, Clark, or Pence. Do not go up the Skyway, because you're going to be heading into a more dangerous situation.
And as the fight to control the flames continues, we're learning more about what CAL FIRE and the U.S. Forest Service did in the past to try and prevent wildfires from spreading in the area. The United States Forest Service says a portion of where this fire is burning is under their jurisdiction. So far this year, they've treated 405 acres and are planning and preparing to treat more. On the other hand, a CAL FIRE spokesperson tells ABC 10 a 600-acre prescribed burn was performed last year. But it's been more than 30 years since the last major fire in the area, and it's caused the fuels to grow back.
Thick, heavily heavily forested, wooded, thick vegetation, and with a lot of live and dead fuel moisture components associated with it.
Still to come on To the Point tonight at 6:30, the plans from CAL FIRE and the U.S. Forest Service to manage the land to try and prevent another large fire.